Hi, Raji. It's good to have you with us.
Hi, happy to be part of the event. Good afternoon. I hope all of us are in the same time zone, or it is good morning, good evening, wherever we have connected from, because that's how events are happening today. We can connect from whichever part of the world we are in and continue doing events like this. That's what we discussed in that was what was discussed in the previous panel discussion too. Great thoughts from the panelists. So I'll continue from that, pick some points, and I'll add my own points as well. So digital transformation, what are the challenges and why the organizations have to leverage AI ops. So if you talk about digital transformation, it's a journey. That's what we have been hearing and talking about. It's not something new. This is a journey that started way back in 2005. Cloud itself started picking up in 2005, and it's a 16, 17-year journey that different industries and organizations around us are trying to catch up. So you take any industry around us. It could be, what do you call it? It could be a retail, it could be media, automobiles, finance or healthcare, education, manufacturing, you name any industry around us. Every industry has undergone drastic transformation because of this cloud adoption. Possibly some of them could not do it before the pandemic, but I should say this pandemic has only pushed people, those who are reluctant to take up the transformation, to come forward and take it up, because you don't have a choice. You have to go along the journey, where the industry is taking you. That's where everybody is moving, and it's no point staying away from it. So IT itself has undergone drastic changes. So most of the points that I will be discussing are about the challenges with respect to IT, but I think it's applicable to any field for that matter. To give some examples, schools have all become online classes. I'm presenting now from India. It's in the recent 1 month is where my kids have started going back to school. For the past 2 years, they have been attending only online class. We were not used to such system at all, but the pandemic forced us to do that. Conferences like this, still we are doing it virtually because we haven't fully gone back to the pre-term, but nothing stops. Thanks to technologies, thanks to tools and software that is available, we are still able to get along and discuss what is needed for business. And gyms to fitness apps, shops to online groceries. All that you need today is a high-speed internet connection and a mobile phone in your hand. You can do anything and everything from whichever part of the world you are in. That is how the transformation has been happening. But when we talk about transformation and digital, everything revolves around building applications. Whatever industry you are in, it is about you will write some form of, you can use any language, but you will end up writing application. So the cloud applications, there are various layers to it. It could be a web application or a mobile application, could be anything. But the application and the language you use for writing could be different. You can write it in core native languages or Java or Python script, or it can be anything. But an application is important. And there are various layers to the cloud architecture. So I've categorized them as 4 layers. The topmost is your end user layer, which comprises of your browsers and mobile apps and tablets, using which the customers, clients connect to your underlying application layer. And that is called the software as a service, the application where the actual business logic is hosted. Nowadays, people worry only about this and leave the rest of the hosting to the service providers that are available. You can make use of the services that are available and focus only on your application. So that is the application layer. Then the platform layer, platform as a service is there, which comprises of your caches, NoSQL databases, queues, and microservices, containers, all of them form the platform layer. Again, there are vendors who give this as a service. And then the bottommost is the infrastructure layer, which comprises of physical servers, virtual servers, cloud servers, load balancer, firewall, router, switch, the entire network. That is the infrastructure layer. So all these are why am I classifying this as 4 layers is what is happening in across all these layers is important for a person, IT administrator or a DevOps person to know, because the problem could be in any of this layer. If there is an outage at an ISP level, if I'm going to have a problem in my ISP network here, I may not be able to do this meeting at all. There is nothing wrong with the platform where we are hosting, but it's a problem with the ISP. Similarly, if there is a problem in any application, if there is a problem in the network in a particular port of a switch, you're going to face problems. So the problem can be at any of these layers. So it's important to have a holistic view of what is happening across all these layers. That's how I've classified the cloud architecture layers as. It's not just these infrastructure and platform. The world is moving towards anything as a service. Anything and everything as a service. You can have infrastructure as a service, platform, software as a service, AI and ML, machine learning as a service is picking up. You have humongous data and you don't know what algorithms to apply and derive meaning out of it. That is machine learning as a service is another technology that is picking up. Similarly, devices as a service. So anything and everything as a service is where the world is moving towards. So what are the challenges in moving to the cloud? There are many challenges. Nothing in any specific order. I'm just listing the top challenges which we faced when we moved to the cloud, when we did, what are the pointers we took into consideration when we built the cloud software. I'm sure most of you would agree or would have faced all these challenges as well. First one being using relevant digital technology. You cannot say, I want to move my entire system to the cloud, but I will stick on to my legacy software. I will stick on to my legacy technology that I'm using. That's not going to work. If you're planning to move to the cloud, we heard the example of using chatbots. If you're in the previous discussion too, use a lot of AI technologies. If you're planning to move to the cloud, use relevant technologies. That is something that people are reluctant to do, and still, because it's more to do with the convenience factor. I'm comfortable with what I'm doing. Why should I, with what I know, what I'm doing, let me see how I can adopt the new technology. Is not going to fetch you the result that you want. So using relevant technology is important. Similarly, the other challenge is the complexity in the system and the lack of expertise. This is again interrelated. Some factor, some fear, something we are not in a position to come out of our zone to learn what are the new technologies, and that is something that is a biggest challenge. You want as a company, the company or organization has decided to use the latest technology. Do I have the relevant expertise in using them? Do I have the relevant people who are expert in using those technologies? Is a real challenge. It's all new, and it is new for everyone. So it's just in that mindset, how much you are able to pick up, learn, adapt yourself, and then we make mistakes, but the willingness to learn and understand where the world is moving on is a challenge, and that's important. And then again, cost is a factor. This can be considered as both pro and as well as a con. We heard from our previous speaker talking about how they were able to save cost by moving to the cloud. But if you are not using it correctly, it's going to burn your pockets. That can also happen, because you will never know. Everything might look very cool. Okay, I don't have to manage things. It's being taken care by somebody else as a service. And a lot of time people want to experiment. You use your credit card during your subscription, and then you forget about it. Some other every month billing, that's not my department. Somebody else is paying the bill. Because a lot of times, if you don't see what is actually happening and fine tune it properly and use it efficiently, there has been cases where, or there have been instances, there have been studies which says we are unnecessarily paying a lot, meaning a lot of resources are being wasted, which includes cost. So scaling cost is a challenge, and it has to be used in the right way, because there is cost associated with many things. It's not just the storage. It's for data transfer. It's for the size of the machine, and it's for the usage. Is it what type of machine you use? Lot of things are to be taken into consideration. So understand your business needs and see if you are using it correctly, then that's how you will be able to save cost. And the other challenge is in monitoring. You have it in the cloud. So what is the highest challenge that you have is all of the systems have to be up and running. The 4 layers that I said, be it website or application or platform or infrastructure, all of them have to be up and running. Industry standards expect 99.999% available, 5 nines. That's what the industry is expecting. So you have to make sure it's all up and running. Availability is important. But at the same time, availability alone is not sufficient. There are other things which you have to take care. There is no point in having all your resources up and running if they are going to be performing very, very slow. Slow is the new down. Performance is important. Nobody has the time or patience to sit and read through or watch or look at pages that are going to take forever to load. We just move on to the next page. If something is not working, how many times do we do refresh, switch on your modem, we do all that. We are living in that era. So your pages, your applications have to work fast, not just your pages. The response from your server layer, from your application layer, from your infrastructure layer, everything has to be good. So taking care of your performance is important. Availability, performance, and the third challenge in IT monitoring is security. We know it's that's a fear that people have, but if you are able to monitor it correctly, because the application is handling users' data. So you have to make sure at all the layers, the user's data is segregated. One user's data is not visible to the other user's data. Here, the user's data is like God. You have to preserve it properly. You cannot expose one user data to another user. And that has to be taken care at all the levels. And about the security aspects in your browser too. So all of that have to be taken care. Security is another challenge. So that's about the common challenges. I'll quickly take the next 5 minutes and finish off with what I have to tell with AI Ops. AI is picking up and you have to see how you can make use of it in your IT monitoring. So how AI and ML could help, there are different ways it could help. AI as a technology has been useful. So AI can help with evaluating past performance. Because you have the past performance data with you, AI can help in looking at what is that performance data and tell you, sorry, just a minute. Yeah. And tell you whether what is that you need to do. Evaluating the past performance, it can help you with forecasting. And then communication, chatbots and communications are important, or AI can help. If you have a flurry of alerts, you may have to categorize them based on who's taking this alert and who you can assign it with technician. That is an area where AI can help. Data correlation across tools is another area where AI can help, correlating the test results and exhaustive training. One important thing to keep in mind with AI and ML is it is only as good or as bad as how it is programmed. So it is important to feed the system with accurate data points so that the AI systems can help you. So that's the road ahead for us with respect to AI, and use the right set of monitoring tools for your monitoring needs. So when I talk about monitoring tools, it's important for you to, this is a favorite quote, we shape our tools and they in turn shape us. What this means is the tools that you have in your hand has a great role to play on your day-to-day activities. If you have a hammer in your hand, everything looks like a nail. That's a screw there. But if you have a hammer, you will only end up hitting it. So use the right set of tools. There are many tools available in the market, and Site24x7 is one such tool that can take care of all your monitoring needs. We have our people available for any demonstration required, and we do make use of all the AI works. This is the breadth of AI works at Zoho, and we make use of the forecasting and outage prediction at Site24x7. It's a mature product which has been in market for the past 15 years. We are hosted on Zoho's data center. We have 10 different data centers at 5 different regions globally. You can choose your region, so data resides within your data center. We do take care of privacy, security, compliance very seriously and adopt to all the standards required. So this is an event. What is an event without contest? Just take a screen grab of this and you sign up using the URL the bit.ly URL, you get a chance to participate in the raffle pick. Additionally, you also get to get 6 months free subscription. Just we'll post this in the screen, in the chat as well. Thank you for your time. Have a nice time at the event.